You know, I see a lot of new entrepreneurs that are coming up. They are desperately dying for people to value their time. I am so important. Please value my time. Believe me, I am worth so much money. But the market says, listen, we don't value your time. We don't respect your time. We don't see you as too valuable yet. And that frustrates a lot of people. Now watch this. I know this because I went through it. This is what typically happens. When you're coming up, nobody values your time. Then you get to a tipping point where you start showing the market that, hey, I am worth a lot. Then all of a sudden, when you get to this tipping point, a bunch of people decide to pull you in all these different directions. Family shows up out of nowhere who never used to call you. Now they're calling you. Friends want to hang out with you. Exes want to hang out with you. New people want to hang out. Coworkers want to hang out with you because you're coming up. So what do you do in that time? Listen, if you're not too careful during that time, all of those people will make you feel so guilty that all of a sudden you'll start wasting your time in areas that are not going to help you grow, and you'll actually go backwards. Today in this video, I'm going to give you a few different ways of looking at your time, valuing your time, and some things that you've never thought about, that you start processing your time in a completely different way. So I want to break this video down to you in three different areas. One, we're going to talk about the levels and where you're at coming up, right? The second thing we're going to talk about is you and who you should give your time to, who you should be protective of. And then last but not least, allocating your time on what project you give time to. So it's three areas I'll cover with you in the video. I'll recommend two other videos at the end of it about time management. And we're going to give you an infographic to download, take a look at, and laminate it, put it on your office, in your, shower, wall, whatever it is. As long as you can see this thing over and over and over again, eventually these concepts will bleed into you and it'll be a part of you. So having said that, let's get right into it. Point number one, no matter who you are, you fall under one of these three different categories. You're either coming up as a new person. You could be a new real estate agent, new insurance guy, new digital marketer, new doctor, new dentist, new liquor store, new deli. But it's new in your community. No one knows you. You're coming up. Number two is your name in a marketplace. People know you. If they see your face and name, that's a local real estate agent. That's a local dentist. That's a local doctor. That's a local liquor store. That's a deli store down the street. But you're a name. You're not the pace setter yet. You're a name. And then there's the front runner. Front runner is you're number one in your community, in your state, in your country, but you are number one. Everybody follows your pace. Whatever you do, they follow your pace. You're the lead dog in your industry, in your community, in your city, right? Having said that, a lot of times a person coming up wants the kind of respect of a front runner, but you haven't earned it yet. So you'll hear things of people saying, well, I'm busy. Oh, I'm really busy. You'll hear this word, I'm really busy. I'm really busy. The word busy has three different categories in it. The first kind of busy is the facade busy. What's facade busy? You're a real estate agent. No one is talking to you. You don't have any clients. But no client wants to do business with a real estate agent that has a lot of time on their hands. So you have to say what? Well, I'm busy. You're bluffing the world. I'm busy. I got so many clients. I got so many appointments. Let me see if I can put you in at 2 o'clock. That doesn't work for me. I can do 3 o'clock. Oh, you know what? I just had a cancellation 3 o'clock. So people play this fake busy tactic that they play, which is fine if you're a newcomer coming up, but you can only do that for so long. Eventually, the goal is to actually become busy. When you are busy versus a facade busy, everybody feels the difference. They notice the difference. Forget about the language and what you say. People feel that you are really busy. Then third one is you're extremely busy. What does this mean? You used to do an hour-and-a-half appointment. Now you're doing 30 minutes. Now you're constantly doing this. You're constantly doing this. You're constantly doing this. Used to be on a phone call that would be 45 minutes. Now you're asking if we can make it 20 minutes. Used to normally do an hour appointment. Now you're doing 10-minute appointments. Used to normally write a very, very long email. Now it's a simpler email because you are now officially extremely busy. Used to have one assistant. Now you have 3 assistants. Now you have an executive system. Maybe you're hiring a chief of staff, depending on what level you're at. So those are 2 things to keep in mind. Coming up, name in the marketplace, front runner, facade busy, busy, extremely busy. Depending on those 2, you can't be a facade busy wanting to get paid of an extremely busy person. You can't be coming up wanting to get paid of a front runner because you haven't earned that right in the marketplace yet, and the marketplace dictates what you're worth. So when you look at this, you today have to take a moment outside of the video and actually decide what you are worth in the marketplace, not what you think you're worth. It's kind of like, I think my house is worth $1 million. The market says it's $600,000. You can say your house is worth $1 million, no one's buying it. This is why a lot of homes stay in a marketplace for 2 years. It's been on a market for 620 days. Why? Because the owner thinks the house is worth a price that the market doesn't want to pay for. So you can say you're worth more, but no one's paying for it. I think I'm worth $400. No one's paying you as an attorney $400 an hour. You need to start off at $200 an hour. Again, go back and figure out what you think you're worth based on market value, not what you would like to be, what you currently are worth. Then every time you do a task, put an hour next to it. This task takes me 3 hours. I am worth 50. This is going to take me 3 hours. That's $150. Is it worth my $150? You may sit there and say, yes, because long term, I'm going to make XYZ return on this. No problem. You may sit there and say, no, why do I keep doing this? This is a $10, $15 an hour job. I'm not going to be doing this. Then you adjust to a different place. Then you also have to make a determination of what you're going to do to get to $100 an hour, $200 an hour, $500, $1,000, $50,000 an hour, $100,000 an hour, whatever it is, your marketplace, you dictate that. But eventually when you get here, the market says this is what you're worth. So now, that is, you're looking at your time or what level you're at. Let me give you the middle part. This is association. This is you, okay? You have 3 types of people that you need to spend time with. One is people above you who are way ahead of you. Let's just say you're making $1 million your income. You spend time with somebody making $10 million, and they're 7 years ahead of you where you are with your business. They're investing into you. You need to be around them because they pull you up. And oh my gosh, why do I think so small? I can't believe I only think this big. Why can I be thinking, look at this guy, oh, this is so crazy. We have so many other things we can do, right? Or an advisor, a mentor, a board, something like that. They invest in you. Then you have relationships that are at the same level as you. They give you sanity and they give you peace of mind. Why? Because you are not the only person that's struggling with your wife, your kids, and the business. How do I manage all this stuff? You are not the only person that's struggling with your best person left you and became your competitor. You are not the only person that all of a sudden your board said we're taking money back. You're not the only person that's going through it, and you're hearing other people at the same level as you, how they handled it. Then you relax. It's okay. This is normal. I can handle it. And you go on and make your decision. And the last one is investment. This is future. This is giving back. This is community. This is a way of you spending time with people that look up to you. It's like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm spending time with you. I'm like, wow, I'm really important. I really do bring value in people's life. This is pretty amazing. My life is worthy because other people want my time. All 3 are necessary. However, the goal is eventually, for me, today, if you call my phone, there are 15 names. So no matter what meeting I'm in, unless if my phone is off or I'm shooting a video or I'm sitting with an interview or I'm doing something that my phone's not next to me. Anything else, there are 15 names. They call me, phone is picked up. First ring, it's picked up. What's happening? First ring, it's picked up, okay? There are 15 names. Not 50 names, not 100 names, not 200 names. My phone has 27,000 numbers in there, but only 15 names I pick up when they call me. Why? Because the goal is to eventually get to a few friends, many acquaintances, few business partners, many associates, few influencers, many creators. Too many people, they're looking at this as a popularity contest. I am not trying to answer the phone to 600 people. I'm not. I'm not trying to become, best friends with everybody. I hope everybody likes me. You will be miserable. You will not get nothing done. The goal is to realize who is worthy of your time and who's not, right? So few friends, many acquaintances, few business partners, many associates, few influencers, many creators, not the other way around. So 15 is my rule. You can do 50, you can do 100, you can do 200. I go by the 15 rule. That's what I have. So this leads me to the last thing to be thinking about. You'll get a lot of projects. When you're newer coming up, you can't say, oh, I'm only going to focus on this project. You can't, because you're the assistant, you're the front desk, you're the processor, you're this, you're that. You're doing so many different tasks when you're newer. So a newer person may put 10% of their time into 10 different projects. And then you eventually graduate that a little bit, and maybe it's going to be 20% of your time into 5 different areas, because now you have staff, now you have supporting cast, now you have different people helping you out. The goal is to eventually get to a point where you're putting 90% of your time in the project that has the biggest upside that needs your attention, and 10% into minutia. Let me say this one more time. 90% of your time into one project, okay? 90% of your time into your main core team that has the biggest upside. 90% into your next leader that can run the company, that can replace you in many areas. Your 90% goes there. Your 10% goes to everybody else. When you get to this point, believe it or not, growth is higher. We run an insurance company, been around for 10 years, okay? We have 9,700 agents nationwide. We have 100 plus offices nationwide, right? 49 different states. This year, 2019, we are growing faster than ever before, and my attention is going to fewer things than ever before. What happened? Because I'm putting 90% into the project that has the highest upside, not 2020, 2020, 20, because I can't grow it that way. I have to go fully into the project that gives me the biggest upside. Hence, we're a bigger company today, and we're growing at a bigger percentage than ever before because of the 90-10 rule. And I know a lot of people will say, well, I don't know about this, that's kind of unfair, how about the other person that needs your time and all this? I get it, but I don't feel guilty about it anymore. I used to at one point, not anymore today, because the 90% that goes into that small group wants it more than everybody else and has the biggest return. That's who gets my time. So having said that, you got to process these three for yourself. Where are you at with the level you're currently at? Where do you want to be? Put that goal for yourself and do the math here. Second, who do you associate yourself the most with? How many friends do you have? Are you accessible to all your acquaintances? Are you accessible to all this other stuff? And by the way, the other day I had a speaker that I hired to speak at one of our events, sales guy. We had a conference call at 2 o'clock. So I got on the call. It's 2 o'clock. The lady says, oh, he's running a little bit late. Wait a minute, I paid you. You're running a little bit late? I don't understand this part. I said, Nancy, is this really happening? Oh, who's the customer here? You are. Why are we waiting for him? I said, ma'am, I'm sorry. We don't work that way. We have to reschedule this time. Oh, he's about to finish. Only 5 more minutes. Man, we don't have that kind of time. You let him know the next time we schedule time, I need him to be on time. The next conference call we did, look what happened. Call is set up at 2 o'clock. Do you know I had my staff get on the call early to see what time he got on the call? Do you know what time he got on the call? He got on the call at 1:50. Do you know what happened in that moment? That influencer realized we value our time. And you better value our time as well, because we respect you, we expect that same thing in return. Too many times people let those small things go here and there. You gotta value your time when you're dealing with other people who don't know you yet, right? So again, this is you. Who do you want to value your time with? The 15 calls, and last but not least, projects. And so this is why I told you there's 2 other videos to watch. One video I want you to watch is 16 time wasters. So many people have these 16 time wasters. This is this one. The other thing I want you to watch is 10 time saving hacks that I produced. Whichever one pertains to where you're at right now, watch that one. But I highly recommend you watch both of them. And I told you we're going to have an infographic. If you text 747-260-8461, again, 747-260-8461, you will get the link to an infographic we made for you to download, to print out, to put it on a laminated, put it in your shower wall, wherever it is, so you can see this over and over and over again. So eventually all of this stuff becomes a part of you. You got any questions or thoughts? Comment below. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do so. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.